Good morning, guys. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. We began these weekend ticker review videos end of January, and I've noticed that there's been an increase on not only the tickers that we're covering, as well as the time that's spent on these videos. So what I'm going to try to do going forward, since we've gone from 30 tickers to 70 plus on each video now, I'm going to try to consolidate the time spent on these videos. And the way I'm going to do that is without losing quality of the ticker reviews, but more so reducing the explanation of how to draw and how to spot and what you should be drawing kind of things. Those are more so going to be moved on to the weekday videos. So on the weekend video, we're just going to be focusing on tickers, what the outcome looks like, what the anticipation of each ticker is, and what my personal thoughts are. So that way, I don't have to spend 3 hours recording. You don't have to watch. You don't have to spend 2 hours watching, kind of thing. So let's try to get that consolidated. Anyways, so make sure you're comfy. It is that time of the week again. Got my cozy sweater on. Let's prepare for next week. Make sure we spot those golden setups. All right, let's get right into it. First section of the ticker review is the top watches. And currently my top watch is ABNB. Now, we played this from the GP and I sold right around here, the resistance, the double rejection, chopstick top, whatever you want to call it. But that was a decent play. That in itself didn't nail the bottom, didn't nail the top, but it was around 15% return. From here, we are watching what the reaction is from this upper trend line that has been formed with previous two touches. Anticipation, ideally, what I want to see, especially since it's, where did my GP go? Oh, interesting. Especially since it's OPEX week next week, would anticipate, if the market has a little bit of pullback, for Airbnb to have a little bit of pullback as well. So what I'm looking at from here is essentially this inverse head and shoulders following this head and shoulders that played out. So you can see shoulder, head, and shoulder that played out. We found the bottom, and now it has formed a inverse left shoulder, head. And if we start pulling back, watch for the reaction at the GP, the key zone, previous resistance, support, resistance back here again, and another support. So let's watch for this formation, and I will be playing this upon the confirmation of the right shoulder forming. This is gonna be a nice play. I am considering this as part of the vaccine play, so looking bullish on Airbnb. Next, PLTR. Starting to see some bullish action on it. This is a bullish engulfing candlestick. Looks amazing. Volume's not there yet. So be patient on it. Small sizing. I love what the chart is doing. We'll be adding to the position once that volume starts coming in. Looking bullish on PLTR. Next, FUBO. FUBO is an interesting one because similar idea to PLTR, but it is not a bullish engulfing candlestick. Decreasing bull volume already, so chart still remains a little bit weak. We did get shut down right below that daily 8 again, even though we broke through on Thursday. And now we can potentially be looking at a little bit more bearish action. Now, if that's the case, I would be very bullish on FUBO because this is a daily bullish divergence that is seeing a little bit of a lack of follow through on a decent daily bull divergence like this. Ideally, you want to see at least a run into the touch of the previous resistance, which would bring us to either this key zone or the trend line. But on 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th day in, we are already seeing a little bit of a stall. So caution on FUBO, but there would be a play if it decides to begin moving. Next, Dash. Huge bull volume on, what is that, Tuesday? On Tuesday. And we are seeing a little bit of a lack of a follow through, but it's just same as any other play. You know, when you see that big bull volume come in, be confident. Don't oversize yet because it will take some time before that's confirmed. From here, we're gonna need to see a confirmation going into next week. If the market is red, I could see us pulling to a new low, potentially forming a bull divergence. But keep watch on Dash. Playing it relatively small sizing right now. Am in the greens. Got in around on Friday. Around somewhere there. 140s. Yeah, 140. And let's see that follow through next week. Next, MO. So this is an interesting chart because on the longer time frame, you can see there's descending megaphone that's very similar to NAS or SPY before. So there's a chance that we could just straight break out from the megaphone pattern. This chart is set up to go. Looks amazing. MO, Altria group. On the weekly, you can see that it has already broken. So on the weekly, you use the previous rejections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rejections we have finally broken over. I wonder if you can draw it lower. Looks like you can actually draw it to the most recent. Yeah, that would work. Alright, so if you draw it to the most recent, you can see no real body has passed it. This one we gapped up open, but it got sold off closing below it. And then more rejections. And so if you were to look at it from this sense, this makes more sense. It's we broke over, immediate back test, sideways action, back test again before the big leg up on the weekly chart. So this is looking very amazing. We're gonna watch for a reaction on this monthly trend line, monthly megaphone trend line. Let's see what it looks like. We are seeing increasing weekly bull volume. So no divergences. I am looking bullish on MO, Altria group. Gonna need to, ideally I want to see a little bit of a pullback. Back test this. Makes sense. I don't know if I want to draw it that far, but let's see what happens, eh? So if we were to go there, look at that. Works out perfectly. Rejection from there. Alright, so we did lose it by a few cents back here. So we can see previous rejections, then blasted through. Immediate back test here before the next leg up. And then we found support on the way down here before blasting through and a bounce back up and then blasting right through. Then on the way up, we are seeing resistance on it as well. So I would anticipate a back test of this key zone if we were to break straight through. Or even right now, you know, immediate back test on the week coming up. MO, keep it on your top watch. Next, DBX. Congrats, DBX bulls. Dropbox. Amazing. We're looking at new 52-week high close. This 2650 resistance is broken. 2620 resistance is broken. Daily looks amazing. Weekly is seeing an increased bull volume. There is a little, we have now negated the previous bear divergence on the weekly. Yeah, so chart actually looks really amazing. Would anticipate follow through on this move. What you could also see over next week is an immediate back test before the next leg up, but DBX looks amazing. We saw some sideways action here for how long? December. While all the other tickers were running, we were seeing sideways action on DBX. So this is likely the beginning of the move. Let's see if we get some back test first. DBX looking bullish. Would add it to the chart. Next, BA. Similar idea. BA is one of the fewer ones that I would consider holding long. Not only because it is considered a vaccine play, but the problem I have with it is when I tried playing it before, it gives a lot of breakout fakeouts. So this one worked out a little bit better, but back when we were playing this, you can see a trend line going here, breakout fake out, came back down. So then we redrew another wedge over here, had another breakout fake out, well, breakdown fake out, breakout fake out, and then breakout fake out again and breakdown fake out before the huge gap up and the run. So BA is not an easy ticker to play, but look at that close, near high of day, 52-week high. This close is amazing. Increasing bull volume. BA, there's, let's post it on Twitter. There's a chance, there's a big, decent chance of seeing beast mode on BA. So from here, we are getting extended. We are extended from day 8. Monday, if we were to see a gap up, that would be a sell signal. Extended on the daily, overbought on the daily. Considering next week is OPEX, let's see some pullback. Wait for that higher low on the daily. It hasn't really set any higher low. You could call this one the 0.382. This one looks the closest to a higher low on the daily than any of these ones. So from here, we're gonna need a daily higher low before the next leg up. Next is AAL. Early confirmation on the bull flag on the daily. Congrats. However, do beware. Do know that we are seeing a big bear divergence on the daily now. So from the high of this one, potentially running out of steam on AAL. Daily, this is the higher low. Then we haven't really set one. You could call this one the higher low. So there is a chance for it to just straight run. Because of this flash pullback, there's a good chance that we can see some straight running from here. AAL is looking pretty decent. Next, Macy's. Macy's is similar to MO. I'm gonna move it there. All right, Macy's. What were we looking at on this one? I think it was weekly. Weekly breakout. Key trend line. Wicked over before on decent bull volume. Then low bear volume consolidation, sideways action on forming a daily bull flag. Nope. Weekly bull flag. But this is a very strong weekly bull flag because it's just sideways action. Finally touched that weekly 8 and then touch it again before, boom, the next leg up. Breaking and closing over this long-term monthly trend line. Keep your eyes on Macy. Straight run. Weekly. Straight run. Weekly is going to need a higher low soon. Daily. Daily's been setting higher lows on the way. Macy looking pretty amazing. Alright, next one is XOM. Huge daily bear divergence. Gonna need to see what the action of next week looks like. I am a little bit more bearish on XOM versus bullish. not only due to this bearish divergence, but also a little bit lack of a pull away on this break of the upper trend line from the wedge. Anticipation, a little bit of a pullback. We have ran fairly decently, 41% on this daily chart without any significant higher lows. You know, you draw these not really higher lows. They're probably 4-hour higher lows, but not really dailies. So we are missing a little bit of a higher low, daily higher low on XOM. Remember, when your ticker is running amazingly, if you're seeing some red flags like this, breaking this upper trend line without further pulling away before the back test, well, technically we got a back test, but we're not seeing that pull away now. So that's a little bit of red flag. Remember to take profits, okay? Target well extended already. 1 to 1.618, already way past it. So the next one up would be 2. Right in the middle of the 2 right now. All right, next is W. Actually, we covered W in yesterday's video, so we're gonna skip this one. 2 more. PENN DKNG. PENN is doing amazing. There is news that it is gonna be trading on the SPX SPI on as of March 22nd, so a week in advance. However, it's gonna be a little bit more choppy from here. I am seeing a daily bear divergence as well as OPEX week coming up, as well as SPX uplisting. That just adds to the uncertainty. I mean, I would imagine that this run so far into the new all-time high, 39.19% in 5 trading days. This was insiders, you know, whales, people who have the information ready and acted on it. So personally would not be trading on this news, given that there's only 5 days left. A little bit more choppy action anticipated. Even if we were to make new all-time highs, 2 more days, let's say 3 more days, best case scenario, would anticipate this daily bear divergence to play out. Next is DKNG, the last of the top watches. Similar idea, very similar idea. We are seeing a rejection on this 1-to-1 extension again. And if you were to use the most recent price action, you will see we are seeing a rejection right on that 1-to-1 extension target, 73.84, right around there. So this previous 1-to-1, the bigger picture one, the big picture one, from this low to the high to the pullback, this continues to present a problem. And the daily bear divergence is slight, not as bad as PENN, but it is still there. So a little bit more bearish on DKNG. And next ones up are the requested tickers. First one we have WM, Waste Management. Did I update this one? Nope. First one up we have KOSS. All right, KOSS, not so ideal so far on the follow through, because we are seeing huge upper wicks, which makes sense because you got to think about the people who bought from back here during this consolidation. They've been beg holding for how long? A month, over a month. They've been beg holding for over a month. We did get that gap fill, even from here. Oh, it's just a gap up, gap fill, hey? But am still anticipating follow through on this based on this huge bull volume. Every now and then you will see, you know, market's gonna slap you in the face and say, no, you are not correct. And if that ever happens, just make sure to be humble and avoid trading that ticker for the next little while, unless you see another setup that's coming. But I love the setup of this ticker. It is A, B, forming a C, and now we are potentially seeing a D into new highs. Charts there, patterns there, volumes there, everything's backing it up. These upper wicks, I'm not gonna be too worried about it. As I said, as long as we don't lose Wednesday's low at 23.20, the play is still there. Technically, depending on how you want to play this, as long as this C 1353 is not lost, the play remains intact. Ideally, what we want to see is use the daily 8 as a guide, which we can now see daily 8. Given that we open right around where Friday's price action is, daily 8 would line up with Wednesday's low now, which would be amazing because essentially this is a daily bull flag. We gapped up and ran too fast, and now we're seeing sideways action forming a bull flag. Not the ideal, not the traditional bull flag, but it is still a bull flag. So play pattern still intact. And next, let's take a look at WM daily bull flag formation. Wow, we bounced straight past that GP. This daily bull divergence was strong. Not forming, oh yes, forming a bear divergence, but not as, because of how far we have to go back from here. Wouldn't worry about this bear divergence as much, especially considering that we are seeing a daily bull flag formation above the GP. From here, would be looking at the 1-to-1 extension target from the most recent low to the high to the higher low. Yeah, that's right. At 128.56. Then from there, would anticipate the new all-time high, some sort of a stall. Oh, nice. New all-time high on watch. So I can see this going next leg up. New all-time high, bull flag, and then before another leg up. This chart looks amazing. Waste management. Next is AMRA. Whoa. We missed something. Oh, this is a penny stock ticker. Nope. That's it for the requested tickers. The next ones are up are ARC trades. So ARC has been buying TDOC a lot. There is slight bull divergence on the weekly. Weekly actually looks a little bit better. So let's get rid of this one. Let's do the weekly one instead. Yeah, decent bull divergence on the weekly. I have been eyeing this one to get in. I want to see what that, because of what we're rejecting from the daily 8, I sort of want to see like a little bit of pullback to the 0.382. We are stalling right on it. This is going to be a little bit hard to find an entry, but once that entry is found, I'm anticipating this to be an amazing play. 1-to-1 extension target rejection from the most recent, from the most recent move before the stall. Then now the next target, did I draw the one? Nope. The next target, let's see. So we ran from the low, the high, to this high, to the higher, okay. So then the next one then would be from here. Let's see how this one acted. And then most recent. Okay, so this one didn't really play out. Sideways action for a long time. Yeah, this fib extension did not play out all that well. Let's see how this one played out. Okay, so that played out. You can see the rejection from the 1-to-1. And then the next one didn't. Oh. This was an amazing rejection. This was an amazing rejection. Next leg up, not a whole lot more to the upside comparing to the previous all-time high, but we are looking at new all-time high at 313.50. Keep TDOC on your watch. One of my personal top watches right now. Looking for some decent move on TDOC. Next, RBLX. IPO. And Cathy bought it on the day of the IPO. We can see it shooting up. Delayed reaction of selling off from previous private investors, I would imagine. Low bear volume. Wow. Adding it to top watch. Low bear volume. Look at that bear volume. This is like nothing. Comparing to the first IPO day, it's a third and then two-thirds and then another third. Keep RBLX on your top watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Next, KSPI. Wow, this real? That is real. Jeez. I hope somebody got in here. I hope somebody got in here. 72% candlestick. Way to go. Wait, is it not real? So it doesn't show on the 15. It shows on the 30. February 24th, near the close. 24th. And it is not there. Weird. Okay. Anyways. It's just been on a complete run up, hey? Okay. Looks like a big megaphone, rising megaphone that was forming before. This would make sense. This would make sense too. Alright, so keep this on watch. If you're looking to play KSPI, we did touch that lower end of the megaphone, third touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 touches, almost 4 touches on the top end so far. Wonder if it's gonna be hard to draw this one. I can't find one that touches on the top, but this lower one, actually more than 3 touches. Multiple touches back here, another support, and now we're seeing another support. So from here, based on the volume that came in on March 5th, last Friday, would anticipate further follow through. We are seeing very nice price action so far and a huge daily bull divergence that has formed. Increasing prices, depending if you want to draw it to the wick or the body, both works. Increasing prices, decreasing RSI. So we have ran. Now I'm very interested in this chart. 15% so far. And there is potentially another 20-some% to go. Adding it to top watch. KSPI. I think I'm getting too many tickers now. All right. Next, BLI. finding support at the bottom of the IPO. Broke down under lack of follow through. That is nice. RSI is way oversold. 1-to-1 extension has not been reached yet. How come this is? Yeah, that's right. 1-to-1 extension has not been reached yet. So chart still remains weak. Watch for the 88. You're going to need that break with confirmation. But there's some decent sign now with increasing bull volume and decreasing bear volume. Could be a nice bottom fish play. If you were to come back down, even if you were to make a new low, there would be a daily bull divergence that's going to form. That could be a very nice bottom fish play. Next, ESLT. %10 bounce so far. Choppy chart. Sideways action since 2017. Not a very interesting chart to be playing, to be honest. There is... Did we break bull? I think we broke bull on this long-term trend line. There's a lot of gaps on this chart too. So it makes it extra hard to play. Let's look at the weekly and monthly. It's not a monthly bull flag. It's just straight chop. On the weekly, okay, so we did break over long-term trend line, weekly trend line. That pushed us down 1, 2, 3 times. Now we broke over, immediate back test, run, trying to do a back test, but increasing bull volume now. So would anticipate a little bit more further upside from here. Trend has reversed on the daily instead of lower high, lower low. Now it's a higher low, looking to form a higher high. Not particularly a ticker that will be trading, just straight chop, no clear directions. So understand what you're playing. Oh wait, this is ESLT, okay. AONE. Another relatively new ticker. Seeing a clear slow buy up, holding that 88 this whole time. This whole time here. The gap down, and we still bought over that 88. Still holding it. Jeez, this was clear. Ever since the beginning of this run, the hold over the 88 has brought us, before losing it, 12%. And see, now it's starting to see some chop. Big bull volume, low bear volume following that. Would anticipate follow through. Keep your eyes on AONE. Anticipating follow through play on this big bull volume. It's still chopped, but we are now trading over the 88. Looks like it could be a decent portfolio hold versus a trade. All right, next one. RPTX. What a nice bounce. Oh, huge bear volume. That real? March 12th, which is Friday. I don't see the volume on lower time frames. 12th. This 11th is clearly higher volume. That's weird. Okay, so I don't trust this volume. But look at this. Hold on this lower trend line. We lost it ever so slightly and then got bought up immediately. That is a good sign. From here, we'll be looking at a bounce to the 0.382, lining up with the previous key resistance support zone, IPO rejection, and then another rejection stall around that, and then another rejection, then became support before losing it, and now we are looking at around that area again. Would anticipate a bounce to 32.73, the 0.382 at very minimal. Just be careful on this bear volume. Not too sure what happened here. And last but not least, on the ARK trades that I wanted to cover, TSM. ARK has been selling this non-stop. Not too sure why I drew this. Doesn't seem to line up with much. Is it on weekly? On the monthly? Nope. Huge weekly bear divergence that has played out. Now a huge daily bull divergence. Look at this. Increasing price action. Huge decreasing RSI. This is a strong bull divergence on the daily. So the weekly one has played out. Let's see if this is valid on the weekly too. No, not so much. Weekly, you gotta use this one. So there's potentially more downward price action to come, but the daily looks decent. Based on how much ARK has been selling, I wouldn't really play it though. TSM, what a straight run. Since March, $40 to $140. 3 times your dollar, 3 times your money. And from here, if we were to draw a fib from the lows to the highs, GP would bring us to this previous stall zone. So there is a potential of a pullback all the way to the GP. Understand that if you are playing bullish on this chart. The most recent run up, GP would bring us to a little bit of a stall here. But yeah, this would be the key zone that we're watching. Here. Support. Didn't quite get up. Right here makes sense. Nope. There you go. All right, so this would be the zone that I'm watching. Most ideal entry right around there. Gap has been filled. Looking at filling further gap down below. Still trading under the 88, so relative weakness. All right, and that is it for ARK trades. Next ones up are Wall Street bets. First one, same as usual, GME. What a beautiful daily 8 backtest, and we are seeing slow grind up on low bear volume, decent matching bull volume. This is a nice move because they don't want to, they're trying to keep it so it's not going into that overbought territory. It's getting there, very close to it, but target remains at $504, right around that 500 psychological resistance. Keep your eyes on GME, anticipating this to see some follow through from the lows to the highs to the higher low. Now this is a not really an ABCD pattern, to be honest. It could be A, B, C, and then D is gonna see follow through to new highs. Chart remains really strong. Next, AMC. So I would imagine next week coming up, it would be the Wall Street bets time to shine. Given OPEX week, option expiry month, the monthly option expiry week, generally see bearish action on the market, giving Wall Street bets a chance to see further upside. Similar with AMC. I didn't quite draw a target on this one yet. We are already past that 0.382, so chart remains strong. Have not, well, we lost it slightly, lost at 88 slightly back here. But looks like 526. Okay. The target on AMC is actually further than GME's previous high. We're looking up at 2371. Woo! Which makes sense. $23.71, right around that previous support. It would match up with previous key zone. Let's try to find a zone here. There's going to be a relatively wider range of a zone because of how much we stalled back here. But same as usual, I want to try to narrow it down as much as possible. So if this is the, all right, it's going to be a big zone. $3, 10% zone. But you can see resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, and then coming back as support, and then another support. This didn't work out so well here. Somewhat of a support before breaking down, and then more supports here. So the lows could actually be higher. More so around there. Yeah, that makes more sense. And can the highs be lower? 25 makes sense. Okay, make it. There we go. 25. All right. 1-to-1 extension target. We'll be looking up at 23.71. AMC is looking amazing. Why am I not in it? Oh my god. All right. AMC. Hope some of you guys are in it. It's looking great for some decent follow through on here. Earning. Oh, that's why I wasn't in it. I wanted to avoid the earnings. But now the chart actually looks really great. Last time we played this, got in on this break, the trend line break, and sold on this candle. I don't remember where, but the trade ended up being 1100% in 3 trading days. That was one of the most amazing trades ever. 3 trading days, 1100%. So let's see if we get follow through. Would anticipate new all-time highs on AMC. Next, SEEL. Huge bull volume, the biggest bull volume ever. However, we did see big upper wicks on it. On a shorter time frame, based on how far we ran, let's see what the volume actually is. So this matching bear volume is coming in. As long as this hourly 8 holds, I would anticipate a next leg up on SEEL. Keep your eyes on it. There is going to be fairly decent move as long as we hold the hourly 8. Now let's do a forecast 2 to 442 to 218. We have already passed the 1-to-1 extension target. Next one up is 610 as the 1 to 1.618 extension. All right, next is TELL. Nice trend reversal. wrong time frame. Daily trend, you can see it has reversed. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Volume is not so exciting. Bear divergence has playing out. This one doesn't look too interesting to me. We probably missed that bottom fish play. So increasing momentum. Gonna need to see that volume come in before this next leg up. There is a huge daily bull divergence that's formed from here to here and from here to here. Huge daily bull divergence. Should see some decent bounce from here, but remember, it is just a bounce until further price action confirms that this is the move. Right now, it's still just a bounce. We are seeing a little bit of a stall at the 0.382. And next is DY. This new all-time highs? Nope, coming up. Coming up to new all-time highs. A very clear channel that's forming, or that has formed. Maybe somewhere around here. Yep. Right at that upper trend line of the channel. So we can see rejection, rejection, close just above it before getting huge shutdown. Rejection again, another two more rejections here. And we're right at the upper channel or upper trend line of the channel on DY. Would anticipate a back test, at the very minimal, a back test of this key zone. Where we see multiple rejections from back here before the actual rejection, and then breaking over this previous resistance, and multiple rejections here again before another full rejection, and then another couple rejections before actually breaking over. So would anticipate a back test of this key zone 89.14 to 93.49. Next, ions. Lightly traded stock. Not going to be very liquid. Huge daily bear divergence has played out. Somewhat of a daily bull divergence that has formed now, but not something I would be trading. This is still just a bounce. If you are in it, watch for where the bounce is going to go. Would anticipate a rejection right at that GP, which is the previous high, 59, right there. Right, next is GOEV. Congrats, GOEV bounce players. This was amazing. However, we are seeing a little bit of a stall on the GP, as well as a spinning top candlestick on huge volume. Potential volume climax scenario, spinning top candlestick. From here, would anticipate downward price action. Extended from the daily 8, everything's pointing to a pullback. If we were to pull back from here, watch for where we're pulling back. The GP makes complete sense, which lines up with the previous support at $12. Yep, that's where I would anticipate. Most ideal to hold the 12. If we're seeing a hold of daily 0.382 or 0.5, those are all going to be relative strength, relatively stronger versus bouncing from the GP. But am anticipating downward price action from here. Watch it tomorrow, Monday. I'm really interested. Fairly confident that this one is going to go down. I want to see if it does work out. Everything I'm seeing is telling me downward price action to come. There is a chance of us gapping up, or just, yeah, ideally if you're looking to play bears on GOEV, you want to see the gap up into this trend line, then from there just straight sell off. If we do get the gap up, ooh, I would play bears, but it's just not one of the top tickers I'm watching. Maybe I should. Okay, I'm adding it in. Okay, that's it for the Wall Street bets. YouTube requested tickers are up next. First one, ETHUSD, Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. Now let's look at this on the weekly. Okay, so it's weaker than Bitcoin. You can see a clear volume dropping off with big bear volume spike. This is the playing out of that bear divergence. Still bull volume dropping off. So chart still looks weak. I would have anticipated a weekly bull flag formation, but we touched that weekly 8 on one single candlestick. Bull volume is clearly dropping off on the monthly as well. We are getting extended from the monthly 8. From here, it's more so a profit taking kind of environment, and don't get caught don't get caught with your pants down kind of thing. Full in, know when to take some profits. Everything on the chart is extended. Generally, charts will give you a second chance to exit. Same with BTC. And take that second chance. You might want to keep a core in, and this is why in our trading community we talk about trading around a core, whatever your strategy is, but around the core helps you avoid those emotions. So from here, I would anticipate downward price action, especially if we were to make a new high. There's going to be a huge daily bear divergence that will play out. Regardless, even if we were to make a new high at 2300 2300, that is still going to be a daily bear divergence. 2400, I would still see bear divergence on it. So not to say that there's no more upside to it. There is going to be upside to it. I can see that. But from there's going to be bigger pullback. The further we run, the bigger the pullback is going to be. Next, Square. SQ. Right at that key zone right now. 1-to-1 extension target was hit, and we are seeing a straight bounce from there. Weekly channel has been broken. First sign of weakness. Huge bear volumes. RSI has been decreasing, running out of buyers. That's what I would take from the RSI decreasing. We are trading over the daily 8. So on the shorter time frame, daily remains a little bit strong, but not too strong, because we are seeing decreasing bull volume. And we are going to form a daily bear divergence as well if we were to break through this key zone. Because from here, what you would be seeing would be something like this. So depending on how far we run, we're going to have to run past this previous price of 258.50 to negate the potential of daily bear divergence. Not something I'd be playing, to be honest. This is a relatively strong stall around the key zone. But from here, you know, risk to reward, I just don't really see it being there. Even though we are at the lower trend line of the channel. Okay, so depending on your time frame, risk to reward could be worth it. You know, you would just play from the lower trend line of the channel. See right here. Upside, you're looking at about 28%. So if we were to make a new high here, that would definitely be a bear divergence, in the sense that it is going to look like that to that. So in that sense, you know, if you're playing shorter time frame, it makes sense. There is decent upside, 28%ish into new all-time high, but do not get fooled on the new all-time high, because watch for that daily bear divergence. All right, next is shop. DG's request from today. Shop. Kathy has been selling shop, and I think that's why we're seeing a huge pullback. The chart didn't really justify this big of a pullback, to be honest. We negated that bear divergence on the daily. On the new high, you can see that we negated it. So this is quite interesting, actually. On the negating of the bear divergence, we still saw a huge pullback. There is no bull divergence either, but we are seeing support from this previous long-term wedge, long-term channel. No, sorry, trend line of the long-term wedge. I don't need that wedge anymore, so let's try to draw this as a trend line instead. That makes more sense. All right, rejection, rejection, another double rejection, triple support, and double support. So it makes sense we're seeing support from this area. This one doesn't look too strong to me. 1-to-1 extension has been hit. Bounce is extremely weak so far. Still trading under that 88. Gapped up above it and then just got pulled right back down. Decreasing bull volume. Shop. It's looking like it needs more consolidation. So on the weekly, I did look at it already. So on the weekly, if we were to draw from the most recent run, which would be pandemic low to the high, GP would bring us to 700s area. That is quite a bit of a ways away. You'd be looking at another 35% drop roughly. 0.5 would actually make sense to hold though. So if you look at this, let's go into the daily. This is where I have my alert set for, and that's why there's an orange line there. But looks like, you know, it actually makes complete sense for it right there. There is rejection here, support, support, triple support, another triple support before breaking down, and got bought up immediately, another support right after. So this 900s mark lines up with the 0.5 of the fib. That would be most ideal entry, 900s mark. And if we were to draw another fib extension, because this 1-to-1 has been hit now. So let's use, oh, wrong way. We're gonna have to find that high first. But let's say if the high is around the 0.8. Okay, we could go down to the 800s zone. So 844 makes sense. Most ideal entry. First ideal entry around the 900s. So maybe play with half sizing, a third sizing kind of thing, and then see what the price action from there looks like. And then if we were to drop down lower, I would go aggressive around the 844 zone. And that's it for YouTube requests. Next ones up are other ones, random ones. Yeah, REI. I think my dog is telling me to get off work. It is Sunday. Georgie, wrong way. All right, first one on the random tickers. First one REI, Ring Energy. Look at this pop. On the daily, looks pretty decent. Some upper wicks are forming. There is a daily bear divergence with earnings coming up. But this run has been amazing. 411%. I hope some of you caught it. Daily trend is now changed to the bulls. Big resistance up ahead at 330. Then from there, we will be in the clear for quite some time. So 330 must break. Let's see what the earning brings. These huge bull volumes are leading me to think there's further further upward price action to come. However, it might take some time because we have ran quite a bit on the weekly, probably getting extended on the weekly. On the monthly, not so far yet. So let's see some consolidation. Look at this volume. Holy, big bull volumes with one single very tiny bear volume. Longer time frame wise, looks amazing for further upside. Next, APXT. APXT looking amazing. Bouncing from this previous key zone that we saw resistance as IPO, and then multiple resistance as well, rejections, then became support right here, and then it became resistance again, this upper part of the zone. We did see bounce from it, and then right near the bottom 1050. Wow, 1050 is where we found support. This chart actually looks pretty decent. Bottom fish play on that 1050 was amazing for those of you that got in. Slight bull divergence on the daily as well. Very slight. You're gonna have to see what the follow through looks like coming next week. We are trading over the daily 8, but weakness is starting to show up a little bit. Bear volume outweighing bull volume. Next, NEO. No one talked about it when it dropped, eh? What's going on? NEO bouncing from the key trend line, trading over the daily 8, decreasing bull volume a little bit. Daily 8 remains the guide. We're gonna want to see further upside for this bounce to validate as the bottom. Next, FCEL. What a messy chart. Let's clean this up. Been too long since we looked at FCEL. Perfect bounce from the GP from the whole run. The 198 to 29.44, we are holding that GP. Now key is to see what the earnings look like as well as what the price action going forward is. Earnings is coming up tomorrow, Monday. First thing, chart is looking a little bit weak because of the stall. This is not a higher high yet. We are right under that previous bounce zone. Daily 8 is your guide. Next, Lee. And cover all the EVs. It's a pretty decent spot to bounce from. IPO high. Always feels funny saying that. IPO high. And from here, bounce looks weak. Not particularly interested. It looks like it's run out of sellers so far. Bull volume are not that decent though. So same idea. Daily 8 remains the guide. And what else do we have? Let's do cruise lines. CCL. Carnival Corp. A stall. Somewhat of a daily bull flag. We did see it close under a couple times, but essentially is still a daily bull flag. Weekly, little bit extended, nothing to be concerned. There is no bear divergence. Monthly looks more than okay. So CCL, lots of upside to it still. Let's take a look at the monthly. Oh yeah, this could be a decent portfolio hold. We are still near that low area. Would imagine further upside to come. CCL is going to be going back on top watch. In comparison, RCL. 1-to-1 extension target rejection. Looks a little bit weaker because we are trading under that daily 8 and bear volume is outweighing bull volume. There is a chance that we're going to go make a new all-time or new 52-week high, outweighing going past that $100 mark, but then we would form a daily bear divergence. So do understand that there is some upside that's coming. We are trading over that daily 8. Volume not convincing for me though. So even if we were to make a new high, would anticipate further price action downwards. BTWN. Now it's a good thing that we missed this one, hey, because this breakout was followed by a huge red flag with gap down and sell off. So this was a huge red flag and then confirmed on the next day, big gap down, lower wick forming. That's fine. Hammer, potential reversal candlestick, but then the next day negated it. So it was not a reversal candlestick because we did not see price action upwards. From there, we saw a break of the lower trend line. That is, if you didn't get out from here, from this red flag, hope that you got out from here. This is the big red flag, breaking under after the breakout fake out, breaking under the lower trend line, and now we are seeing a bounce from the IPO low 1070. Bounce has been okay so far, no bull volume though. Let's take a look at STPK and then AAL. STPK, decent bounce so far. You can see this RSI just continues to grind down. So it looks like there's a resistance line around there. Watch for the RSI. This one is going to be interesting because it's more so an RSI play, in my opinion, than a price action. Huge bear divergence that really played out. No bull divergence either because RSI made new lows. Would anticipate a reversal around the GP. Right now we're right around that 0.5 mark, previous resistance. This has to be broken in order to see GP further price action upwards into the GP. But there's $35 or $36 is key price to break and close over. Next is AAL. And cover PSTH as well and a few other tickers. So daily bear divergence. Let's see what next week looks like. I swear we covered AAL already. Next, PSTH. Wow, what a bounce. What a bounce. Okay, percentage wise is not that crazy. 24% so far only. RSI is trending down as well. Where are we looking for this bounce? Where are we looking for this bounce? And this chart needs to be cleaned up too. There's so many. This is no longer in play. Nope. Nope. Oh, what did I delete? Sure, that can stay in play. All right. Stalling right around that 0.5 and previous support right here. So support, multiple supports before breaking down, and then support again before breaking down. So you know what? Why not just draw a key zone right around here? So we are seeing stall right on that lower part of the key zone. Gonna have to see whether if we break over or we're gonna see a rejection from here. Slight increase in bull volume. There's a chance that we can break over into the high of the zone before the rejection. However, chart risk to reward, not really there. Next, OGI. Ooh. Hey, how come no one talked about OGI? This chart looks pretty good. Big bull volume that came in on Thursday, follow through on Friday. This chart looks good. OGI. Can it be on top watch? ABCD pattern doesn't really work out that well. But wow, look at this bear volume, hey? Nice increasing bull volume into new highs before a huge shutdown. Then now we are seeing increasing bull volume or huge bull volume pop, not increasing, but nice bullish engulfing candlestick. You're gonna want to see follow through on Monday to confirm. However, would not be my top watch. Risk to reward doesn't seem to be there, especially now that I see this candlestick in particular, a drop, the red candlestick of death, 45% drop in one single day. No thanks. All right, what else is there? P-Town we cover, PYR, not too interesting. Nice bull volume pop, a huge upper wick. Then there's huge lower wick here. Choppy action. RSI is not indicating much either. So let's see if there is anything noticeable. Wow. Double top right here is very noticeable. And then how does this look? Not great. No, don't like it. Not really seeing any patterns either. Potential for an exaggerated head and shoulders. We're gonna need to break this previous high at about $9.50, $10 zone, or else this could be an exaggerated head and shoulders pattern where you're looking at shoulder, head, and then shoulder with the neckline being right here. if this neckline were to be, if we don't break the new highs and the neckline were to be broken, would anticipate lots of downside on PYR. What else do we have? Space. I think we're seeing a huge bounce on space, right? Look at this amazing hold on the key zone. Previous, nothing there. Resistance. Rejection again. Noticeable rejection here. Noticeable support around this area. Then we're bouncing from that area. So the bounce so far has been, see, doesn't look much, but it is percentage-wise 45% already. Space. I can't believe we didn't play this. From this, risk to reward 162%. Ah, damn. Hope somebody caught space. I was looking at it on the 8th or the 9th. Can't remember, one of these 2 days. So even if we were to buy in at the high of the 9th, there's still a 15% move. So still relatively decent. This chart should have more upside considering how much we have dropped, which is 62% drop. Even the bounce alone should be very decent. The bounce to the 0.382 alone, you'd be looking at 38.78. So there's still plenty of upside room to move. Keep space on your watch. BNGO. Are you still in BNGO, Kwanzaa? BNGO, nice bounce from the GP. Seeing a potential bull flag formation right now. Decreasing bull volume though. So we are holding that 88. Looks like we have ran out of sellers. You're gonna need to use the 88 as your guide. Key, nope, there's nothing there. Oh wow, BNGO since IPO sold off and then just complete run, hey. So do see somewhat of a zone here. This would make sense. Rejection, gapped up over, became support. Support on the upper end, rejection on the upper end, support on the upper end, rejection on the upper end, support on the lower end. So this zone makes sense. And we are seeing a stall on it, on the lower end right now. So 950 to 1072, key zone to watch. All right. QS, I don't believe we covered yet. Nothing too exciting. Decreasing bull volume, inside bar kind of day. Gonna need to see, use the 88 as your guide. Need to see that volume before any significant move. The 88 is going to be your guide. FUBO. Inside bar, exact same chart. Decreasing bull volume. Gonna need that volume to come in, except we are not trading over the 88. So in comparison, QS would be stronger versus FUBO. AMD. So let's finish it off with the Canadian tickers. First one, SCR. Let's see how oh yeah, SCR is trading on NAS now. So you know what? What does it look like on NAS? Not too much. No. Let's stick with the Canadian for now. Found support on the GP from this whole move. Trading over the 88 now. Volume is still not consistent. This was a nice hold. If we were to see reversal from here, I would anticipate a bounce from the 1830 zone. Gonna need to see the volume for continuation. But score, we're now looking at a potential. So this head and shoulders has saw follow through, neckline broken, and we came back down. And now we're looking at a potential of a inverse head and shoulders. with this being the left shoulder, this being the head. We're gonna need to see a higher low. Ideally, we pull through further. I don't really want to see a rejection at 36.10. There could be a rejection. The key zone is coming up. If we see rejection right around here, gonna watch for the higher low for a right shoulder formation. But score is looking decent. AC, how's NUMI looking? Not very great, hey? So we broke through the channel, breakout, fake out, back test the lower trend line of the channel before another breakout, fake out, back test the lower trend line of the channel again. And from there, we came to back test the key zone. Chart looks a little bit, weakness is still there. Decreasing bear volume. We need the buyers to come in. There's no buyers on it right now. So this could go into a very long dragged out sideways action. What does the weekly and monthly look like? Oh, so we're waiting for the monthly to catch up. So monthly wise, half of the month so far, no bear volume. This looks like a decent long-term play. Portfolio hold. Gonna need to see that monthly sideways action for the monthly 8 to catch up with low bear volume, just as we are seeing right now. Next is GSY. We haven't looked at it in a long time. GSY, Canadian. And they changed my channel again. Why? Looks like they like to do an inverse, hey? So that being the top, this being the bottom. We are still trading over the channel. Back tested too. GSY looks amazing. All-time high close? Nope. Actually, 131.02. Yes, all-time high close. 16 cents above. Daily bull flag now playing out. Chart looks amazing. GSY. Good for portfolio hold, does not move all that much. Well, I'm actually looking at, the low of pandemic. Whew! Look at this, 530%. Pretty sure I told my friends to buy it somewhere around the 30s to 40s zone. This would be a good hold. 30s to 40, you're still looking at 300%. Oh my goodness. Ooh, should have took my own advice, hey? GSY, amazing hold. From here, we are looking at bear divergence coming up. Would anticipate pullback coming very soon. If we're looking at a pullback, this one's going to be a scary one, potentially. 0.5. 0.5 pullback would somewhat make sense. This previous 73 resistance again before breaking over. So right around there. 0.382 would also make sense. You see rejections here, a stall before breaking over, and a back test that almost touched it. So don't care about that. Let's see if we can find a zone. Oh wow. Okay, so this makes sense. Let's try to the high of pre-pandemic. No, not really, hey? What if it's to this previous rejection? Yeah, that makes sense. That'll be below the 0.5 though. But we can see clear rejection here, stall before the breakout. Another rejection here, same thing, stall before the breakout. So key zone to watch will be somewhere around there. Right. GSY. Let's see, is there any other ones? I'm gonna do AC. AC, and we'll finish it off on Suncor. Wow, AC broke over the key zone. Congrats, AC bulls. Now, keep in mind, daily is missing a higher low. The last higher low we found was at 2081, which is 40 some percent away. 40 some percent straight run on the daily. We are going to need some sort of a higher low. A pullback, a consolidation, a correction, whatever you want to call it. Where makes sense? GP makes sense. 0.382 makes sense a little bit. You see previous rejections here, supports here. 0.5, not as much. Yeah, GP, most ideal re-entry would be around that GP. I think we sold around right below this, so around the 27th. Yeah, I think it was one of these two candles we sold on 27 some. Then they just bull flag confirmation. Jesus, congrats AC bulls. Let's watch for that re-entry. I want to get in on the GP, but we could see a bounce from the 0.382. So let's do that. Next, Suncor. Straight bull run as well. Yep. Gap that's coming up. A gap that's coming up. We're going to need to break 30.19 and then we'll be looking up at 33. Huge bull confidence. However, we are seeing overbought conditions, no bear divergences, so that's great. This, okay, the last 5 days of price action volume is leading me to think there is going to be a correction coming, some sort of consolidation forming a higher low. Because we were to look at this huge bear volume followed by low bull volume, even though the big bear volume was unable to push the price action down, now with where the price is at, GP makes sense. Previous triple rejection, broke through, never came to back test, would be confident for an entry at 24, roughly around that 24 to 24.28 price range. All right, that's it for today's video. That's one of the longer videos, not the longest, an hour and 30. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure, please give a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. And if you're looking to build that pot of gold, like what we provide, please consider subscribing to our channel where we provide new videos daily. Also, check out our website at totalcontroltraders.com, our Twitter at _TCTraders_. We offer 7-day free trial to our chatting platform, our trading platform, where trading ideas are shared, charts are reviewed live, and all sorts of other things that I shared. Crucial informations. Hope you guys stay safe and be in control. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.